Hi, this is Joe again with another movie review. So in this video, we're going to be doing the first movie of a particular franchise, or Disney franchise actually, of one of the more classic rides. Not only Disneyland, but also Disney World as well. And that, of course, is the first Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl. And although that is the first of a franchise, which is now, I think, the fifth movie, I believe, is currently being filmed now. I can't believe they're making a fifth one. Uh, the Pirates of the Caribbean movie, even though it's a fairly successful franchise for Disney, uh, this one is the only one that's actually decent. I mean, the movies were getting steadily worse and worse and worse as the series went on, and which we're going to get to in a minute. But mostly want to talk about this one. Because it's the only Pirates of the Caribbean movie that actually saw all the way through. Now, the Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl, of course, was Johnny Depp, Jeffrey Rush, Landon Bloom, Keira Knightley, and also Jonathan Pryce. Now, this movie is actually, like I said, it's pretty decent. Uh, the movie itself is about Johnny Depp's character, actually, Captain, plays a character named Jack Sparrow, and he wanted to get his. The main plot is, of course, this is when the British was mostly in the United States, and of course, in the Caribbean, and trying to hunt down pirates. That's going through the Caribbean and all that type of thing. And Johnny Depp's character wanted to get his ship back, and his ship was the Black Pearl, and allegedly there was this crew or his old crew was actually a quote unquote cursed crew. We find out why in the movie. Uh, of course, the ship is now being run by Jeffrey Rush, who plays a character Captain Barbossa, and of course his whole crew is actually technically kind of like a ghost crew. Uh, that's because apparently they mutinied uh, Johnny Depp's character. Captain Jack Sparrow, they threw him off the ship, and he somehow got back to. It doesn't exactly say where they are, but it is in the Caribbean, and he wanted to get his ship. His ship back because the ship belongs to him, and from the crew that stole it from. So he gets his ragtag other guys who knew him, and they eventually got his ship back. Meanwhile, he meets up with Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley, who are like close friends. And then eventually, I think throughout the series, I think by the third film, they actually got married. I think, you know, or the characters got married by the third film. But this one, they actually fell in love in this particular film. And he found out that Johnny Depp found out that Orlando Bloom's character was actually the son of his former captain. And of course, he found out that, kind of like father and son, and Orlando Bloom decided to join Johnny Depp in his cause to get his ship back. But Jeffrey Rush, the reason why uh, the Black Pearl's crew is now cursed is because they stole this particular pirate treasure, and the pieces, if you steal even one piece from either a gold coin or anything from this particular pirate's treasure, you curse for the rest of your life until when all the pieces are put back. Kind of like the episode of the Brady Bunch with the taboo, with the taboo isle in the Hawaii episodes. It's kind of like the same thing here. So this crew was going around, or Jeffrey Rush's crew was going around the Caribbean trying to get all the pieces back so they could completely put the treasure back, and there'd be the curse would be lifted. But Johnny Depp didn't care about any of that stuff. He just wanted to get his ship back. So they had a lot of great sword fighting going on, and of course it happened once again that Johnny Depp's character gets dumped on the island along with Keira Knightley's character, and of course, we know what happens. They get back. Johnny Depp gets his ship, does get his ship back, and they do have this big sword fighting scene with Jeffrey Rush's character, which I thought was the highlight of the whole movie. Um, Now, of course, what happens? Well, I'm not going to give away the ending, but the treasure does get put back, and of course, the curse is lifted, and then of course the crew can be killed, or at least the crew that was cursed could now be killed. But with the curse going on, they're like immortal, and every time the full moon comes out, you see they're actually skeletons. Well, a skeleton crew, and there was great CGI in that particular sequence when they revealed themselves as what the curse actually was, which I thought was a pretty good sequence. Uh, but then, of course, I felt that this particular movie is 20 years, it's about like 15, 20 minutes too long, and they cut out ending the movie with the scene where um, Jack Jack Sparrow fights Barbossa, or Barbarossa, whatever Jeffrey Rush's character's name is, and they left it at that, ended it with that sequence, and they just sell off. Johnny Depp and Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley's character, they just sell off on a Black Pearl with the rest of the crew. I think there would have been a better ending, but no, they decided to end an extra 20 minutes, which kind of sucks, and because Keira Knightley's character was supposed to get married, and they and of course Johnny Depp and Orlando Bloom break up the wedding, and and Keira Knightley decides to marry to. She actually fell in love with Orlando Bloom's character, and that's how the movie ended with Johnny Depp and Orlando Bloom say stopping Keira Knightley from marrying this British soldier, and that's how. And of course, it also ends. There's not the actual last scene, was when the credits goes to the road. They stop the credits, and the stupid, annoying little monkey that was seen throughout the whole movie takes a piece of the buried treasure, and he turns into a skeleton monkey, or into a monkey skeleton, I should say. And that's actually the last scene of the movie. I mean, it was a waste of 20 minutes. And at least I feel that way. Now this movie is actually based on the actual famous ride, and there is a bonus feature on here. I think you can actually see this if you upload the second disc. Don't remember if it's the first disc or the second disc onto your PCs or laptops. You can actually see the original Pirates of the Caribbean ride. It was actually in I believe in Disneyland, I believe, and of course the same ride is also in Disney World as well. And there was a wonderful World of Disney segment with Walt Disney describing the ride, and they actually filmed the ride. It's like if you're actually riding the ride yourself. And of course nowadays with YouTube and with cell phone cameras have the capability of taking videos, or regular digital cameras to take videos. People could shoot videos of the ride themselves and then post it on YouTube. That's kind of like the way it was then. I mean, it was like 50 years before YouTube. Or at least 45 to 50 years before YouTube, Walt Disney did a feature on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. And of course, at the time when this movie came out in the early 2000s, Disney was making a bunch of starting to make movies based on the famous rides in Disneyland and Disney World, and this was one of them. The other one, of course, being The Haunted Mansion, the starred Eddie Murphy. That movie turned out to be a bust. I think it came out around the same time, I think it was just before or just after the Pirates of the Caribbean came out. So when the Pirates of the Caribbean came out, after the disaster that was, the Haunted Mansion film, now people thought this movie was going to be a disaster. Basing a whole live action movie based on an amusement park ride, because of course it's never been done before. So I figured, okay, let's do this thing. Because usually it used to be the other way around with Walt Disney, where Disney World used to make amusement amusement park rides based on Disney films. Now all of a sudden, now the opposite. Now they kind of flip that. And so, oh, let's make our amusement park rides into theatrical movies, and that's what they did with first the Haunted Mansion and then Pirates of the Caribbean. And of course, the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise was so big they even put in the characters, Barbossa, and of course Captain Jack Sparrow, into the rides, into the actual Pirates of the Caribbean rides. And one thing that I thought was fun, at least in this particular film, is that they actually took pieces of the actual ride, or these actual scenes or sequences that was in the Pirates of the Caribbean ride into this movie, which I thought was kind of fun. Because I actually, when I was four and 6 years old, because I went to Disney World twice. Once when I was 4 years old, and then again when I was six. I actually rode on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride both times, and it was actually, of course, I don't remember much of it because I was so young at the time. But I do remember riding. I do remember riding on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, and they do use scenes was featured in that original ride into this movie. And I do have a feature of the ride on the DVD. Plus, of course, obviously the making of the film, of course, audio commentary, and of course, Keira Knightley actually does audio comment or record an audio commentary track along with the producers and directors for this film. But I do feel that even though I wasn't all that big of a fan of this particular film or of the franchise altogether, but I feel that Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of Black Pearl is the best one of the entire franchise. Um, because the more movies came, because it was an unexpected hit for Disney. And of course, there was also a bit of controversy over it, not just some of the stuff I mentioned already, that's basing a movie on a amusement park ride, which is so people were making a stink over it. What is it now? They're going to make a movie on It's a Small World. There was some of the comments that was floating around at the time, and of course, obviously, that hasn't happened. At least not yet. I hope it doesn't happen. Um, of course, the other big controversy of this film was how Johnny Depp portrayed the role of Captain Jack Sparrow, because he used to do all this stuff with how he, moved his arm like this, kind of like in a homosexual um, type way. And of course, a lot of people were saying that Johnny Depp was playing a homosexual pirate, uh, which of course, wasn't true. But but the critics were saying that Johnny Depp was playing more like a homosexual character. The way he was moving his arms, the way he walked around, and stuff like that. It's like they even bring this up in the believe it or not, they even bring this up in the movie. Oh, how come he talks like that? How come he walks like that? How come he moves like this? Um, because Orlando Bloom's character actually questions this. He actually questions one of his crew who knew Jack Sparrow for years. And he said, "Oh, how come he moves like this? How come he does all this type of stuff?" And it's all up because of his experiences being left on the island and made him crazy, made him act like that. That was the excuse they used in the film. But I think in actuality, he actually was playing a homosexual pirate. You could people could tell that he was acting like a homosexual pirate. And he also did almost a similar type of a performance when he played Willy Wonka in the Willy Wonka remake, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. He also acted like a homosexual guy in that movie, compared to Gene Wilder performance. Anyway, like I said, they made a boatload of money. So they made other sequels. They made one with I think the second movie was called Dead Men. Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, where Johnny Depp was fighting with Davy Jones, because Davy Jones is Doctor, of course, is the war. It was like a fictional character. But in the movie, it's like a myth. The actual character Davy Jones, not to be confused with the singer from the Monkees. One of the singers from the Monkees, Davy Jones. Um, of course, that movie I never, and for some stupid reason, they brought back Jeffrey Rush's character for that film. Even though technically he was supposed to have been killed off in this film, they brought him back for the second one, and then they brought him back for the third one, which was Pirates of the Caribbean and World's End. And of course, they go to the end of the earth and fall in. I didn't want to see the movie because the movies were getting worse. And after the third movie, I think you did not have Keira Knightley and Anna Bloom's characters anymore. Um, I think with the third one, I think they had enough during the pirate movies, so Johnny Depp did it himself. I forgot who played the girl or the love interest in the last movie that came out, but these movies were getting worse and worse and worse. And now I think they're currently filming or they finished filming the fifth one. So I have absolutely no interest in seeing the other pirate movies because this movie was, like I said earlier, it was a good entertaining movie, but it didn't need the last 15-20 minutes, and it kind of like ruined it. I think that's about every critic who reviewed this film pretty much said the same thing. The last 15-20 minutes were completely unnecessary. Uh, and so are all the other sequels. I can understand making a second movie because this movie was successful. Was so successful that they made a sequel, but the other movies were just awful. Every pirate movie that came on after that, I mean, it got panned by the critics. I think he even won a couple of Razzie Awards. Some of the other sequels as the worst movie of the year, or at least the worst sequel of the year when those other pirate movies came out, because the quality of it was getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And I don't expect anything good to come out of the next movie that came out. But if you want to see a Pirates of the Caribbean film, just check out this one. And that's the Curse of Black Pearl. Uh, just check this one out because this one's definitely the best one out of the lot. There's no question about it. I think this one's the best one. Because actually, usually original movies of a movie series are usually the best ones anyway, and this one's no exception. And like I said, this one is also has a lot of good bonus features in this DVD set. So you just check this one out and forget the rest of them. If you want to see the whole series, go knock yourselves out. But it's not worth watching the rest of the movie series. Now, since I have a little time left, I'd like to dedicate this video to somebody who's celebrating a birthday, because I'm doing this video on August 31st, 2015, and this is having to be the birthday of one of my favorite singers of all time, and it would be remiss not to mention it. And that's Debbie Gibson, or Deborah Gibson, one of the original Teen Idols, and she's one of my favorite singers. I think I have, like the first 5 albums she did. I want to wish you a happy birthday. That's my review of Pirates of the Caribbean. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.